Привет, товарищ меня, Красной Армии 1. Hello, comrades. My name is Red Army 1. Now, I know it's Tuesday, and I was going to have a Tactics Tuesday out there for you, but I wasn't feeling her today. I'm sorry. So, I've been talking about uploading some Red Army stuff for you, so I figured today might be good. And this, before I forget, is the Red Army side cap, made in olive drab polyester, and it is the pilotka. The pilotka, by the time the Red Army got a hold of it, had been in service in the Russian army since about, there have been variations from about 1840 to about 1880. So I'm going to say it's been there for about since 1840 up until about the late 50s, 60s era in the Soviet Union. So good, about 120-ish years it was in service. And today they still use, I believe, in the Russian Federation, or in the Russian Federation, I believe the Air Force and the Navy just use these. The Army have moved on to berets and etc. But modern day, the Russian Federation, or the Российской Федерации, the Navy one is black. I believe it's wool or polyester as well. But up here where this stitching is white piping on the Navy caps, and then for the Air Force, it's blue polyester with a it's dark blue polyester with a light blue trim along the sides, and then they have the hammer and sickle and that sort of thing. This one's plastic one. I've been meaning to get a sew-on one, as lots of privates and that would have had, but I'm gonna get an M35 Commissar tunic, and that will be for my ROA. That will be my early war dress ROA uniform, and I'll put the cockade and everything on there with the trousers and everything. It's folded over. It's pretty well just one big piece of cloth, and when you unfold it, it looks like this. It looks like this. It's pretty well just two, I think, two layers, two layers, one on this side, one on that side, and they're cut pretty well flat on the sides, and then they have this big sort of cut to it, and then you sew them together, fold this one up, and that gives you the pilotka style. In the winter of the Eastern Front, soldiers, if they didn't have the shafyushkas or the Kuban Cossack hats or anything winter-wise, what they would do is they would fold it down like that, so it could cover the ears, but they would still have the and I can't fold it all the way, but they would still have the hammer and sickle showing. So that's the World War II one. This one on the inside, I believe, because it's 1960s, it has a black sort of liner in it, and then there's no writing or anything on the inside underneath the sweatband on either side. There's nothing on it to indicate it's an original. So this is my World War II Soviet one that I wear for Red Army. I also have another one which I'll show you for Revolution times, and this would be the one for Revolution times. It's the same everything as the World War II pilotka, except this one has a big cloth patched star representing the Communist Party. It's made of wool. Originally, in the very, very, very early days of the revolution, 1917-18, what they would do is they would have and this would go for all ranks, be you Army, Navy, Air Force. They would have their visor caps, their side caps, their naval caps, and they would have the Imperial Russian cockade on them. And what they would do is they would paint them red to signify this at first, or for at least the Bolshevism party and things like that. And then they switched to the Red Star at about the 1920s. This one again, same everything as before. No writing on either side or anything. This one I wear for when I do the, as I said, the Revolution uniform and things like that. And you'll see that probably later, probably after my Imperial Russian uniform gets completed, because I have my Soviet one, and then I'm just going to get a different Gymnastrika for my Imperial Russian one. And then there's going to be, I think, a pretty well different uniform entirely for the Revolution uniform. My Revolution one is pretty well going to be, I think, now that I'm thinking about it, probably the Russian naval sailors at Kronstadt that I've talked about in a previous video, I believe. So I'll probably get that going then, because I was going to do Imperial Russian Army Bolsheviks way back when I was collecting stuff. But that is pretty well to start off. I'll show you that. And then we have, in the camera, I think there's a slight difference in color. This one might look beige or brown, but this one might look a dark green. But they are the same color. It's just that one's closer to the lamp. And that's it. That's my pilotkas. But before I end this video, I have something amazing to show you. And that's this. My pride and joy now. It is clearly a sword. Scabbard and all. I got this yesterday from a friend. He gave it to me as a birthday present. And yes, I just am going to sharpen this and do everything possible to it. It is functional. I'll show you the crown pieces there, or the cross pieces there on the sides. And then the big one there. This one he got from a store that we shop from. And on the blade itself, I believe it says this side. Yeah, right there it says made in India, or just India. This one is a replica of the medieval or Celtic style swords. But the scabbard is very nice. And then it has the shoulder piece for it, and it's got the buckle for going over your shoulder and everything. There's a few things wrong with it that I don't like up top there, whatever type of plastic or resin they used as a gem, just on this side you can see is just overflowed and it's splotchy. They didn't really clean that up, but on this side it's phenomenal. And that's pretty well it for this shield and this video, or this sword, wow, and this video. The next couple, if I have any more videos with this, it'll probably be techniques on how to use this sword, because it's my pride and joy. I call this one Soul Keeper, because if you have a sword, I learned this from a friend of mine a while back. If you have a sword, it's apparently bad luck if it doesn't have a name. Yeah, it's pretty superstitious, but it's a sort of tradition thing. It's like, I guess the easiest way you could say is everybody's seen really Forrest Gump when he doesn't name his boat yet. He has the worst stuff happen to him. He names it Jenny. It's perfectly fine, and that's pretty well sort of what the sword name is supposed to mean. It's, if you don't have one, you're gonna have bad luck, but if you do have one, you'll be all right. another quick thing here about this sword. She is pretty big. I think she's about a 3-footer. I'll just take her out for you. She's got the nice Celtic style grip on her. She's dulled down, obviously. They're not going to sell it pre-sharpened, but I have to go to there's a store nearby. They sharpen weapons, I'm told. And I just realized on this side there's no cross, but on this side there is, and this side there is. But it's a really, really lovely, nice sword. I practice with it, and it's amazing. If you have a sword, you know the feeling of just, hey, I have a sword. And if you don't, you're missing out. Is all I can say. And yeah, I'll see if I can show you what it looks like around like my shoulder. So here she is up top. She's about mid-chest, just below, or just a wee bit above my belly button. And then she goes down to almost just below my, ankle. So, not that bad. And I have mine on the left, obviously, because right-handed. And then I'm going to see if I can draw it again, have it out and around and everything, and then tuck her away. So, very nice, fucking phenomenal thing. I love it. So that's pretty well this video. Talked about the sword, the pilotkas, everything like that. But that just looks intimidating. I just realized. Just the sword on the all-white background. She is just intimidating. So that's everything for this video. There'll be more Red Army stuff probably sometime this week, so keep an eye out for that. Until next time, comrades, Red Army 1, signing off.